Lunch and Learn webinar. Nutrition knowledge. Did I start talking too soon? My name is Carrie Leary. I'm the Nutrition Resource Manager here at the Regional Food Bank. We also have...
Hi, this is Kristen Bopp. I am the Just Say Yes to Fruits and Vegetables Nutrition Educator.
And I am Denise Schultz. I am a Just Say Yes to Fruits and Vegetables Nutrition Educator, as well as Agency Services Coordinator. And I'm not quite sure how to do that, Monica, but we do have Monica Cieslak as well from the Food Bank of the Hudson Valley. She is a Just Say Yes to Fruits and Vegetables Nutrition Educator.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, you did it.
Hey.
Oh, yes.
I muted myself. I just unmuted myself.
All right. So welcome, everybody. We're really excited to start this Lunch and Learn series. Hopefully you like it and want to join us next month as we do Beyond the Pantry. And we'll have panelists discussing the current food insecurity advocacy agenda, WIC and SNAP outreach, the summer food service program, and nutrition education. We send postcards out. We've announced upcoming workshops in our newsletter, which will be coming out shortly. But we also have all of our upcoming workshops listed on our website under agency education. If there's anybody who's having issues hearing us, can you please just type into your chat box? That would be appreciated. Thank you. The information presented today is for general nutrition, not for disease-specific nutrition. It's important that each and every guest advocate for themselves. You are not the expert. Please never present yourself as the expert. We just want to give you some basic information. Every person is different. They need to follow their doctor's advice. What has worked for you or somebody you know may not work for somebody else. And this is going to hold true whether it's somebody with diabetes, a food allergy, or anything in between. So today's webinar, we're going to have about a 45-minute presentation with you will be actively involved in that. And then we're going to try to leave 15 minutes for questions and answers at the end of that. Our goal right now is to not mute you, but we do ask that you put your phone on mute until the time you need to ask a question. If we experience a lot of feedback, we will mute everybody. You see there's a chat box there. So we are asking for you to enter any questions that you would like discussed at the very end of the webinar. So today's webinar is going to be presented in a game type format like Jeopardy. Instead of having 20, 30 people talking at once, we're asking that you type in the category and the topic that you would like addressed next, and we will go to that in the order that they are typed in. Everybody ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so you see that we have 6 categories of stuff. Food is good for me, weight loss, veggies and fruit, grab bag, and food bank. We're looking for you to type a category and then a topic within that category, please. Anyone? Monica? Microwave. Okay. Microwave first. On the grab bag. On the grab bag.
So true or false, radiation from microwaves creates dangerous compounds in your food. The answer to that is changes that occur in microwave food as it cooks are from heat generated inside of the food, not the microwave itself. As far as microwaving foods, the only thing you have to be careful sometimes of are the plastics that you are microwaving with, because some of the plastics may leach compounds into your food.
Next. Kathy says veggies and fruit. in the middle.
Bear with us here. All right. True or false, organic foods are healthier and safer for me and my family? The answer to that is not really. There is no evidence in scientific literature that organic foods offer any nutritional or safety advantages over non-organic foods. Just make sure that you wash all your fruits and vegetables, and any of the ickies that are on the outside of the fruits or vegetables will wash off. In fact, just recently, the USDA pesticide data program report was released, and it showed that 99% of sampled products found on had levels below the tolerance established by the EPA and posed no safety concerns. So again, also too, with the clients that we serve, cost comes into effect too. So that's another thing that you want to be careful of, because comparing organic and non-organic, nutritionally speaking, they are absolutely the same, and we'd rather them pay for the cheaper product and still getting all of those vitamins and minerals that they need.
Holly picked high fructose corn syrup under evil foods. So true or false, high fructose corn syrup, HFCS, is worse for you than sugar. And the answer to that is that's false. So high fructose corn syrup and table sugar are very similar. You just want to make sure you're limiting your consumption of all added sugars, no matter what form. High fructose corn syrup was just made to kind of mimic table sugar, so their compositions are pretty much the same. Calorie-wise, it's they're exactly the same as well. So no matter what form of sugar or high fructose corn syrup, if it ends in ose, so maltose, dextrose, glucose, it's gross. That's what I was always taught when I was younger. So that's a good way just to kind of remember that. Okay. Let's see. We have grab bag spices. Amelia picked that one, so we'll go to that.
True or false, herbs and spices add flavor but have no health benefits? The answer to that one is false. Herbs and spices not only help to flavor the food, but they are good sources of antioxidants that help protect your body. Herbs and spices are really great because they don't contain any fats or calories or anything like that, but they do contain a lot of healthy properties. For example, ginger can sometimes be used to help decrease nausea and help aid in digestion. Cinnamon helps lower your blood sugar and reduces inflammation. Turmeric has been shown to help with improving your joints. So the answer to that one is false.
Okay. I'm just looking for the next question. We've got Jim Burton. You had posted in weight loss, but what specifically, which category were you looking to go for? Carbs. Awesome.
Okay, true or false, carbs are bad for me. So the answer to that is false. There's many benefits to eating carbohydrates. Grains provide fiber, iron, B vitamins. Portion control is very important, though. Make sure you are choosing more whole grains. Ideally, at least half of your plate should be whole grains. Fruits and vegetables are also good sources of carbohydrates, providing fiber, vitamins, minerals. The legumes, beans also provide fiber, vitamins, minerals, as well as protein. And you should never really exclude any whole food group from any kind of a diet. Sorry. Okay, I'm just looking to see if anyone else has posted anything. Oh, we've got some more up here. I think someone, yes, Kelly had asked for eggs. So we'll go through eggs and evil foods. True or false, eggs are bad for your heart. And the answer to that is false. Saturated fat is more harmful to your health and, your heart health than cholesterol is. Eggs do contain a good amount of cholesterol per egg, but for most of us, the cholesterol we eat doesn't have a huge impact on raising our blood cholesterol. A huge, culprit in heart disease are, those saturated and trans fats. So that's kind of where the heart health and the enemy lies in that. But eggs, are a good staple in anyone's diet. They're a good source of protein, so it's important to have eggs in your diet. Oh my gosh. Oops. Okay, I'm just looking at late night. Late night's the next one. Late night. Under weight loss. Okay, true or false? Eating late at night makes you fat. The answer to that is false. The amount of calories that you eat compared to the amount of calories that you burn, I can say that eating late at night might cause heartburn, might cause restlessness. This is our first webinar, if you haven't picked up on that. Also, eating late at night, you tend to lose control of your portion sizes. And it tends to be foods more like potato chips, candy, cookies, etc. So eating late at night in itself isn't always a bad thing. It's when you lose control or if you have some other medical issues that might contradict that. We're looking for the next question. Detox is one that was asked earlier up. Okay. Detox. So we have to go to the game. Yes, we do. All right. Detox. So true or false? It is important to fast periodically to cleanse toxins from the body. And the answer to that is false. So there's no significant evidence that not eating or, consuming only juice, we always hear of like juice detoxes or detox teas. There's no evidence that those help the body remove toxins. There's actually this really cool thing that's already built into your body. It's called your liver. And that is your body's, natural detox system. So, liver, kidneys, and spleen. And like we said, there's no evidence that not eating for any period of time makes them do their job any better. I feel if anything, it might make them do their jobs worse. So that is false. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to scroll down to see if there was any questions on anything that we've not. Yeah, Jim loves his liver. Perfect. Okay, some of the others were, I think we're down here now. Tasting at the pantry, that is one. So tasting samples. Okay, true or false? Food pantries are not allowed to prepare taste samples of pantry foods for guests. And the answer to that is false, with exceptions, with caveats. If somebody is coming to you and they are food insecure, you are giving them 3 days worth of food for an entire month in general. They are, of course, going to take foods that they know that their family will eat, they know how to prepare. They're not going to take the foods that we are trying to encourage more of, such as the brown rice, if it is something that is not familiar to them. They're not going to take the papaya if they've never cut a papaya before. So we have developed some guidelines that we go over in food safety classes that outline how how you in the food pantry can safely prepare taste samples for your food, for your pantry clients using your food pantry food. Whether it is simply cutting up a fresh pineapple or preparing the rice and beans.
Okay, looking for it.
And if you're struggling to get volunteers, you might find volunteers are more willing to come in to do something just like this, as opposed to coming in to do other pantry functions. Or you can reach out to your local high school, colleges for culinary programs. They might have volunteers looking for community service hours.
Okay, Amelia had requested grab bag allergies, so we'll go to that one next.
All right, a food allergy that has only caused mild reactions should be treated just as seriously as an allergy that has caused a severe reaction. The answer to that is false. All allergies should be created equal. This goes back to what Carrie was saying at the beginning. It is your client. Your client should be their own advocate. Make sure that they let you know if there are any allergies. And don't assume that just because somebody reacts a certain way to an allergy doesn't mean that everybody that has the allergy reacts the same way. Also, if somebody that may have an allergy to a food can react very mildly one time, and then the next time they come in contact with that food, they could have a much more severe reaction. So never assume that we know how the reactions are, and definitely clients should be their own advocate.
All right. Kathleen had requested hydration. Can find it.
All right, hydration, true or false? Electrolyte enhanced beverages are best for rehydrating. The answer to that is false. Nothing beats plain water at keeping you hydrated. Electrolyte enhanced beverages were created for extreme athletes, marathon runners, anybody, cyclists, professional athletes. Those are the ones that are stretching their body to their fullest for a long, long duration of time. So just because we're dehydrated now, water is the best thing for you. Also, electrolyte enhanced beverages are loaded with tons and tons of sugar, which Denise already discussed. Are packed full of a lot of calories, and just don't have as much of a benefit to us.
Okay. Jim earlier had suggested wheat, so we'll go to that. True or false, wheat is bad for you? The answer to that is false. So wheat is packed with important nutrients. Unless you have a wheat allergy or gluten intolerance, wheat is a part of a healthy diet. Wheat is pretty controversial because it contains gluten, which can trigger harmful immune responses in predisposed individuals. So people that have, celiacs or, a pretty severe gluten intolerance or even a wheat allergy. For people that do tolerate it though, whole grain wheat can be a rich source of, antioxidants and vitamins and minerals, and fiber. So fibers, kind of keeps our pipes flowing properly. Also, we here at Food Bank Land love to preach my plate, and with that, a quarter of your plate should be, grains, and we always say that half of your grains per day should be whole grains. So it is false. Wheat is good for you. Let me see. Hip nap.
Okay, true or false? HIPNAP, which is a Hunger Prevention Nutrition Assistance Program, helps food pantries, soup kitchens, and emergency shelters offset the cost of healthier foods. The answer to that is true. The HIPNAP grant can be used, it's a line of credit here at the food bank, used by emergency feeding programs to offset the cost of healthier items. If you're looking at our inventory on our website, those items are marked with an asterisk. If you're looking at the online ordering system, those are marked yes in the state column, the state grant column. I have to tell you, it's not always going to make sense what is covered and what is not. The criteria for the co-op that purchase products is much more strict than it is for our donated or salvage product. Some things are not going to make sense, such as they would cover hot dogs, but they're not going to cover the canned beans. So if ever you have questions about what is covered and what is not covered, please contact me and I can try to explain it more thoroughly than this. And so while it might be confusing, and they might pay for foods that I will then tell you don't count towards your food pantry package, be very grateful because New York State is the only state that has a grant like this. So we are very fortunate. Okay, so next up.
All right. Alexandra had picked alcohol. So true or false, alcohol is good for your heart, so everyone should drink. And the answer to this is yes and no, and we'll explain. So while moderate alcohol intake has been shown to have health benefits, there can also be health risks to even drinking moderate alcohol consumption. So moderate consumption refers to 1 to 2 drinks per day for men and no more than 1 drink per day for women. 1 drink is usually considered to be 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, and 1.5 ounces of spirit. So the health benefits that alcohol can provide are reducing your risk of developing and dying from heart disease, possibly reducing your risk of stroke, and can possibly reduce your risk for diabetes. So we're not saying if you are someone that doesn't drink that you should drink to, improve your heart health, because you can, take other steps to improve your heart health besides drinking. So, eating a healthy diet and being physically active have much greater health benefits and have been more extensively studied. But like I said, it's not completely risk-free. Even light drinkers have a tiny but real increased risk of some cancers. And bottom line, drinking and driving, want to throw that in, is never ever a good idea. So kind of a double-ended sword question there. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna see what other. All right, Bernadette picked pills under grab bag.
All right, bear with me here, sorry. True or false? I don't have to eat healthy. I could just take the vitamin pills. The answer to that question is false. Vitamins cannot keep you healthy or neutralize a lifetime of poor food choices. Basically, all this is saying, be careful taking multivitamins. Multivitamins, you have to always run it by the doctor. It can interfere with medications that you may be taking. Also, when you take a multivitamin or any vitamin or mineral in a pill form or any other form that's other than eating it through the fruits and vegetables and healthy foods that they are naturally found in, your body doesn't absorb the full amount of that vitamin. So, for example, if you wanted to increase the amount of calcium you're taking, so you take a multivitamin that says it's 200% of your daily value. Your body only can absorb about 30% of calcium at a time. So you pop that pill in the morning, you're only absorbing about 30% of that pill. And the rest of it, you just end up peeing out of your body. So it's something that needs to get staggered throughout the day, which is why it's always best to get your vitamins and minerals through the foods that we eat, because with the wide variety of foods that we eat, we're ensuring that we are exposing our body to these vitamins and minerals at different times throughout the day.
Jim had said salt. So true or false, sea salt is a lower sodium alternative to table salt. This one I feel like is really popular lately with all the different kinds of salts that we're seeing. And that is false. So table salt, kosher salt, and most sea salts are all 40% sodium by weight. So, you know, salt is salt. Kosher salt and some sea salts may have larger crystal sizes than table salt. So by volume, they might have less sodium. But, you know, it's all the same, you know, amount of sodium by weight. And while, you know, they all are processed differently, and while this may make sea salt more attractive from a marketing standpoint, there are no real health advantages of most, you know, sea salts. The, you know, small amounts of trace minerals found in a sea salt are easily obtained from other healthy foods. So, you know, most sea salts don't offer any real health advantages, you know, over table salt. I do want to just make a note. It's kind of goofy over on our end with the chat and everything, but we are taking notes on anything we might not be answering in current time to answer towards the end, or if you know you have a really pressing question and you want to, you know, ask it towards the end, we will get to you. So I don't want anyone to think that we're ignoring them. Okay, let's see. I'm just trying to look at who the next question is. And Mary said meat. So that is meat. Oh, food bank was one? Oh, this one or this one?
Oh,
Yeah, meat or healthier meat.
I mean, we can do both.
Look at meat, and then we'll do healthier meat.
All right, we'll do meat under Evil Foods and then healthier meat under Food Bank. Throwing us for a loop here. So, true or false, red meat is bad for your health? And the answer to that is false. Red meat is a good source of protein and iron, but you should choose lean cuts of beef and pork. For beef, choose, you know, round, top round roast, top sirloin and flank. For pork, tenderloin and loin chops. Poultry can contain more saturated fat than lean meats depending on the preparation. So make sure to remove the skin and grill it or bake it. Limit your processed meats as well, and then choose your cooking method wisely. So while you should choose leaner cuts of beef and pork, if you're going to fry them at the end of the day, that doesn't necessarily make them healthier than, you know, a fatter choice. So just taking all of that into consideration. And then we'll go to healthier meat.
So the other meat question, true or false, the food bank carries healthier cuts of meat. And the answer to that is true. The food bank carries a variety of lean cuts of meat in our co-op inventory, and they are now labeled as lean meat. We have boneless, skinless chicken breasts, chicken drumsticks, chicken leg quarters, chicken roasters, turkeys, pork roast, pork chops, 90% ground beef, stew beef, tilapia. Please note that ground chicken, ground turkey in general are never going to be a lean meat, because usually they are processing all the skin and the fat along with the meat, which takes it out of the running for a lean meat category.
All right, brown foods, Alexandra suggested. So true or false, foods that are brown are healthier for me. So we've got a lot here. So sometimes, but not always. Brown rice is a whole grain, white rice isn't. Whole wheat bread is a whole grain. Wheat bread is often just white bread that's colored with molasses. White bread is made with wheat flour. Brown eggs have the same nutritional value as white eggs. They just come from a different breed of hen. And brown sugar is the same as white sugar, but has molasses added for color and flavor. So just because, you know, the color of the food you're eating is brown doesn't necessarily mean that it's healthier for you than the white alternative. Okay, I'm gonna see what other questions we've got. Yogurt. Yogurt can be a staple item in a healthy diet. And the answer to that is true. Yogurt is a dairy product that provides protein and calcium and can enhance healthy gut bacteria. Just be mindful that added sugar and processing can make some yogurt products unhealthy. So just make sure, you know, you're checking the label. Like it says, yogurt can be high in protein, calcium, vitamins, cultures, the probiotics, which can help enhance your gut microbiota, which is just your healthy gut bacteria. And these can all offer protection for your bones and teeth and can help prevent digestive problems. Probiotics may, you know, boost your immune system. And low-fat yogurt can be a useful source of protein if you're, you know, trying to lose some weight. But not all yogurts are good for you. Like we were saying, those without a ton of added sugar or unnecessary additives can be healthy, but some products have high quantities of added sugar and other ingredients that kind of, you know, counteract the health benefits. So just making sure that you're checking your labels on all of your food products. Low fat under weight loss.
True or false? Low fat, fat-free, low carb, sugar-free foods have fewer calories than the original. And not necessarily. You need to make sure you're reading the nutrition facts label to know for sure. Oftentimes when they take fat out of a product, they are going to add sugar because it doesn't taste the same. So the manufacturers want the product to be as tasty as possible. So they are more than willing to sacrifice some of these health components. Beginning with January 2020, most nutrition facts labels will be listing the added sugar. So you'll be able to see when sugar is being added. The smaller companies have an additional year till 2021. You know, and fat-free coffee creamer was very popular for a while. But if you ever look at the label, that's got a lot of sugar added to that. And Fruit Loops might be low fat. That doesn't make Fruit Loops a healthy choice for breakfast.
Nope. Okay. Low sodium canned vegetables.
So true or false? The food bank does not carry low sodium vegetables in the inventory. And the answer to that is false. While they're not labeled as low sodium, any co-op canned vegetable, like we said, marked with the asterisk or covered by the state grants, will be meeting the HIPNAP definitions for a low sodium vegetable, canned vegetable. The USDA canned vegetables will always be low sodium. And if you click on this link here, it brings you to some print resources from the Canned Food Alliance. You can take regular canned vegetables and rinse them, and you're going to rinse off, it's slowly loading. You're going to rinse off a lot of the sodium from the canned vegetables or a lot of the sugar from the canned fruits. So those are some nice print resources if you want to hang them up or share them with your clients.
Okay. Artificial sweeteners.
True or false? Artificial sweeteners have no calories, so they can help me lose weight. True. If you're trying to lose weight or prevent weight gain, products that are sweetened with the artificial sweeteners may be an attractive option, although their effectiveness for long-term weight loss is not clear. A teaspoon of sugar has about 16 calories. So if you drink a can of soda that has 10 teaspoons of sugar, that's 160 calories. Switching that out with a diet soda for 0 calories can be effective. However, keep in mind any foods that would have the artificial sweeteners added to them are not your whole foods. You should be eating more real food and less of the processed food in general for a healthy diet.
All right.
I think that's all the questions that we've asked so far. Everyone, you want to choose another question? All right, that. Thank you. True or false? All fat is bad for you. And you're all answering false, which is true. That's false. So false. Solid fats, so saturated fats and trans fats have been shown to be bad for your heart, but unsaturated fats have been shown to have health benefits. Everyone needs fat in their diet. It aids in nutrient absorption, nerve transmission, and maintenance of your cell membranes, but not all fats are created equal. Some fats promote good health, while others increase the risk for heart disease. So replacing the, bad fats, which are saturated and trans fats, with good fats, which are polyunsaturated and monounsaturated fats, will give you, positive health benefits. So examples of those good fats are, avocados, eggs, coconut oil, raw nuts, olive oil, salmon, and then those bad fats are things like margarine, canola oil, and hydrogenated oils. Whoops. I had seen another one. Someone said, yeah, Mary said juice.
All right, true or false, juicing or drinking fruits or vegetables is just as good as eating them? And the answer to that is false. Eating whole fruits and vegetables is just as good, if not better, than drinking them. So the liquid does contain, when you do juice, the liquid does contain most of the vitamins and minerals that your body needs, which is good for you. However, in that process, you are also losing all that fiber that is beneficial as well. Not to mention, fiber does help keep us full and fill us up longer. So while you may be drinking the juice, chances are you're going to find that you're hungry much faster than if you were actually eating the actual fruit or vegetable. So by getting rid of that fiber, you may tend to increase your calorie consumption just because your body's telling you you're hungry.
Okay, and mini meals.
Okay, true or false? Grazing on meals throughout the day keeps your metabolism stoked and helps you control your weight better than eating fewer, larger meals. And the answer to that is pretty much false. Choose the eating pattern that works best for you. Research has not found an ideal eating pattern that works for everyone. While it is true that every time you eat, your metabolism does rev up a little bit, overall it's not a tremendous amount, and each time that you eat is an opportunity to lose control. If you are going the route of mini meals, which again, depending on your medical condition, might be advantageous, or maybe you just don't like to eat a lot at once, that's great. Know how many calories you should have for the day. So if you should be eating 1,800 calories and you're doing 6 mini meals, that's 300 calories per mini meal. So you need to have an awareness of what all that means. Make sure it's a balanced meal, and that it's not chips, cookies, those types of snacks.
All right, so we'll answer that question about intermittent fasting at the end, because we've only got a couple more that are popping up. So the next one we'll do is kale. True or false, kale is better for you than spinach? And the answer to that is false. Eating a wide variety of fruits and vegetables is really good for you. Kale and spinach are both considered powerhouse foods, which means that they are super loaded with lots of vitamins and minerals that are really, really good for our body. And both of them, especially because they are the darker leafy green, any vegetable or fruit that is darker in color is loaded with much more nutrients. So they are both superfoods, and one is not better for you than the other. So enjoy them both.
Do we want to just round out the
Yeah.
two groups?
Yeah.
Okay. Beans.
All right, we're going to talk about beans. Beans are too starchy and should be eaten in moderation. True or false? That is false. Beans are an excellent source of both protein and soluble fiber, which helps control blood sugar. And they are really great for heart health, too. Also, beans are a low-cost protein, which is a great way to stretch your food dollar just a little bit. They do have a tendency to be a little gassy, so just make sure that you rinse your beans off under running water. The more you rinse them, you are rinsing away a lot of that starch, which is where the gassiness comes in for. You're right, Jim, you do have to watch out for baked beans, because anything baked, or any of those baked beans, they're technically a pre-prepared food. So anything that's canned with spices or any kind of seasoning to them, you do have to watch the fat and the salt and the sugar content to those. Some people with autoimmune diseases, such as Crohn's or irritable bowel syndrome, may be more sensitive to the starch and the protein from the beans, but that is something that, again, clients are self-advocates and they will help you out for, but letting you know that. But they are really good for you, and they're excellent source of protein and fiber.
All right, fresh.
All right. True or false, fresh is always best. The most important thing to remember with your fruits and your vegetables is the season of the fruits and the vegetables. The nutritional value will be based off of their season. So the nutritional value of canned and frozen fruits and vegetables is very comparable to fresh, and in some cases may even be higher. If the fruits and vegetables are picked before they're ripe, it could mean that the vitamins and minerals are not fully available in those fruits and vegetables. Frozen fruits and vegetables are picked at their peak ripeness, so they are, and then they're immediately flash frozen, so that locks in all the vitamins and minerals, and they don't lose them. So it's a great way to pack them in there. Canned fruits and vegetables are also canned at their peak. And in some cases, such as tomatoes, the canning process can improve the content of the vitamins. Like canned tomatoes, it improves the B and E vitamins. And in the case where we're talking about canned beans, the fiber in the beans, as they're canned, as they sit in the cans, also become more soluble and more easy for our bodies to break down. The main thing to remember out of this slide is that the average American does not get enough fruits and vegetables in their diet in any way, shape, or form. So to get the full amount of nutrients, we definitely emphasize fresh, frozen, canned, dried, and even 100% fruit juice so that they can get their nutrients.
And last but not least, true or false, the food bank is available as a resource for recipes. And the answer is absolutely true. We are available as a resource for many, many things. But you can always visit the JSY website at jsyfruitveggies.org, where
Our
you can,
shameless plug there.
where you can search for recipes by ingredients. The USDA website, which I think is operational currently. I think they're just not adding new recipes would be my guess. You can search for household recipes. They have it broken down. You can choose by ethnicities, they have a number of filters for that. If you get something, you order 3100 and get fresh produce and you get some things in there, you don't know what they are, you can reach out to me or to Kristen or Denise or Monica. We can try to help you identify that item as well as provide you recipes so that you can help promote those foods for your clients.
Awesome. Do we want to turn?
Yeah, let's turn the volume back on, and at this time we will answer any questions that you may have for us. Denise here is unmuting everybody, so you should all be able to talk.
And Sue tells us the USDA website is currently operational. Thank you, Sue. Monica adds our JSY Facebook post recipes as well. Actually, on our food bank website, in our newsletters, we include recipes, whether it's under the agency newsletter or whether it's under the JSY newsletters. You might have noticed we have a lot of split peas right now under USDA. So there was a split pea recipe in the last newsletter, and there will be another one or two in the upcoming newsletter, trying to promote those split peas to something other than soup.
Kathleen, yes, we can get copies of the slides out to anybody that would like them. So maybe we'll do
We'll send them to everybody.
Send them to everybody. Send out a mass email so that everybody can get the slides.
We also, and I don't know if this is pointed out before, this whole thing was going to be recorded. So hopefully that worked right. And if so, we will try to get that posted onto our website as well.
Some of the questions that we saw coming throughout, I think Michelle's question, lead in spices. And there was actually a recall recently, some spices, I think it was curry powder that was recalled for a high lead content. In general, spices don't have a lot of lead by themselves, but the method in which they are processed might add lead. For example, if somebody uses a hammer or something, I think by themselves they're not going to be a high source of lead, but you should always watch out for food safety recalls, which are still being updated throughout the shutdown, and go to www.recalls.gov so that you can get all the emails yourself. Did you see other questions coming through, Kristen?
The intermittent fasting. I can't even pronounce the word. Intermittent fasting. Did you have something to add about that?
So while I'm not familiar exactly with intermittent fasting, basically any diet that restricts the food will cause short-term weight loss. In general, though, these fad diets, are not something that you can maintain on a long-term basis. So while it might help you lose weight in the short term, reverting back to how you used to eat will cause you to gain the weight, and if not, gain back more weight. So the best approach to any weight loss would be making healthy choices, following the MyPlate model.
Yeah. And there are, from my understanding, a wide variety of different ways to implement the intermittent fasting. But like Carrie said, it is very important that you be mindful of eating your MyPlate, making half your plate fruits and vegetables, making sure that you're providing the whole grains and the protein and the dairy that your body needs. Also, too, to go along with that as well, it's also very important to weigh that out with physical activity and making sure that you're keeping your body in motion and moving as necessary as well.
Thank you. Michelle had a question on the food sampling guidelines. It is a very lengthy set of handouts, but basically it outlines what you need to have in order to safely prepare the food samples. In terms of the area in your food pantry, all foods must be prepared on site, cannot be prepared at home and brought in. You must take the appropriate precautionary measures so that your hands are never touching the final prepared product. And there is a whole packet assembled for ease of training other people that I think I will send out with the slides today. So Jim is asking if it's possible to bundle healthy meals or healthy side dishes for purchase. It would make it easier to display grouped healthy choices to make a meal for clients to see. While that's not something that, as a food bank, I think we are able to do, it is certainly something that you are able to do yourself, or even have your JSY nutritionist work with you.
Absolutely. The Just Say Yes program does participate in we have a healthy pantry initiative, and one of the things that we could potentially work with you on is developing some recipes that you can have where you can bundle your meals, sort of like the what are the
Like HelloFresh.
HelloFresh kits and stuff like that. So what we do is we work with you on you're ordering based off of what you generally order, and you pre-pack the bag so that somebody comes in and sees, oh look, here's a black beans and rice recipe, and you can just hand them the bag with all the ingredients inside for them to make that recipe for.
I think those are all the questions we saw coming through. So now we're opening it up to you to ask what questions you still may have. Don't be so polite.
Bags would be a nice webinar. We'll definitely put that on the list and see if we can't get that in this year.
That's a good idea.
And you're unmuted.
That I would love to see a packed bag webinar and for some of the pantries I work with. I think that would be really a great idea, because sometimes it just seems overwhelming when you're talking to someone and you give them a recipe, but if it's all done together with, I like the Just Say Yes recipes because they're very simple, and so that would be great. And then put it in there, and then just show them what's in the bag, almost have one display, and then have it ready to go. That's really true client choice too. It really is nice.
Yeah, it's a great idea. It's something we have touched on in other full-length workshops, but we can look into devoting an hour to that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I don't know about an hour, but.
You don't want to help us?
I do. You know me. I'll always be helpful.
I know.
And then I think maybe that's the piece that that Cornell is doing, the nutrition nudges. They said that they would pre-pack bags for if you wanted to buy a rice and beans dinner for a family through ShopRite or Stop and Shop. So maybe that would be three components. Maybe that's too many cooks in the kitchen, but I was just thinking three. I didn't want to play on words, but that piece, that how can we do that? That would be really nice.
Yeah, that's Just Say Yes. Healthy Pantry Initiative is the same nudges that Cornell Cooperative uses. Yep.
We have 5 minutes. It's your chance. What questions do you have?
Anything again, but
that this is our very first webinar using the program and everything, that we are extremely open to any feedback you may have on telling us how we did, what do you think we can improve on, and that sort of thing.
We thank you very much. Oh, there's a comment. Please. Has anybody had a lot of success in a formal program on how they do that, or they just like chat with each other? Yeah. I think that was Mary, and I don't think she has a microphone.
They'd like to do a pantry cookbook.
Oh, that's a great
fun.
idea.
That is good. All right. Thank you all so much for putting up with us here. And we hope you enjoyed this webinar. Look for our future webinars that we will be hosting here for our Lunch and Learns. Our next Lunch and Learn actually is going to be on February 14th, and it's going to be called Beyond the Pantry. Join our panel of experts and learn how to make an impact on food insecurity beyond the provisions of emergency food. So panelists will discuss the current food insecurity advocacy agendas, WIC and staff outreach, summer food service program, nutrition education. So again, Thursday, February 14th from 12 to 1. You can call or email Kelly Jones here at the food bank to sign up for that next Lunch and Learn. Thank you all
Thank you
again.
so much. Thank you.
Have a good day.